You guys ready to talk ACC tournament?
Oh, you know, baby. You know it.
I love that we're the team that gets
Together
to
from the
finish
start,
this
right?
out. The A squad.
A squad. Let's
Shut
go,
up.
A
Let's
squad.
go.
Big
Let's
game,
go.
A
Let's go.
squad.
Get
Let's
hype.
go.
Get hype.
Let's
Get hype.
go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Let's go. Son of a.
And this goes out to anybody who ever lost someone, or anybody who ever had like a big motivation to do something in life. Man, don't let anybody get in your way. Do what you want to do. I mean, people laugh when I said I was going to be a rapper. Look at me now. JD, get 'em.
Only joking, of course. So glad we get to work with the rest of our esteemed CC talent in this final Cuse Countdown show of the season. It's a special one, and I've got two special guys next to me, Christian Pedersen, Michael Tricarico. We are talking ACC tournament, first round Syracuse, UNC, Notre Dame, Duke, and then moving on, the two winners play next. So before we get started, guys, do you think the ACC is better this year or a season ago?
I'm going to say they're better this year. Even with the loss of Maryland, there's great parity in the division.
Got to disagree with you. Big surprise there. I have to go with last year. 6 top 10 teams is better than 5.
Are we ever going to agree on anything?
I don't know.
Well, either way, there's a lot of talent in this conference again, and they are pitted in Chester, Pennsylvania at PPL Park, in what's sure to be another exciting ACC tournament. Let's take a look at the bracket. Notre Dame, the 1 seed in the country, is the number 1 seed, taking on Duke. UNC Syracuse, a rematch from about 2 weeks ago. Guys, which matchup is more intriguing to you?
I got to say UNC, Syracuse, Duke, the weak link out of those 4 teams.
The winner of these two is the more intriguing. That's the next round's the one I'm looking forward to.
Well, we will see. Virginia, the only ACC team not in there. They're taking on Penn in the ACC Penn Classic. That one also in Chester, Pennsylvania. Now, you may have seen our other countdown teams at the top of the show. It's time to get some of them involved. Here's Gabriella Rusk, Bailey Lipschultz, and Kevin Case with a special edition of Casual Countdown.
Thanks, Varun. Now we're here on Casual Countdown. I'm Gabriella Rusk with Bailey Lipschultz and Kevin Case. No ties for us today, but we will be talking about Syracuse in the ACC tournament. So first up, the Orange are 0-2 on the road. So how are they going to play from the Dome in this ACC tournament?
Gabby, they're 1-2 away from the Dome, playing in that neutral site in the Cobb County Classic against St. John's. Slow start. You look at Notre Dame, again, a slow start. And third off, we were at the UNC game, Kevin. A very, very slow start offensively for the Orange.
Yeah, and Coach Desko and his guys have had trouble saying why they're starting so slow. We've kind of asked them a few times after each game what was sort of going on, and they haven't been really able to pinpoint it. But the good news, of course, is they've been able to get back in each of those games, all those games close at the end. So slow starts on the road, but still close games at least.
And so when they did lose against UNC, what's the takeaway from that game against the Tar Heels?
You know, I think it's hard to pull one specific takeaway from that game. 2 very evenly matched teams. I will say the big standout is the Orange has to start faster on offense. They shot 1 for 16 in the first quarter, and that really was where they lost the game. They were down 5-0 after 1, and they were fighting back the entire time after that.
They definitely have to put the ball in the back of the net, but Bobby Warble has to play better in the cage. He ended up getting pulled at halftime for Warren Hill, went back in at the end for a little bit of damage control, but if Wardwell is not playing well and the offense is struggling, it could be a long day against UNC.
Well, let's say that they do pull out the win against UNC and then Notre Dame beats Duke, then the Orange would be playing the 2 teams that they've lost to.
2 teams they've lost to. Hypothetically, Gabby, yes, UNC, again, is going to be a tough one, but if they get a second shot against Notre Dame, that one went to double overtime, again with a slow start. You could be looking at the Orange as winning the ACC championship in the tournament.
Yeah, 2 revenge factor games. The Orange has plenty of motivation to kind of come out and play their best in these 2 games. And like you said, I could see it happening in ACC championship for the Orange. Both those games were so close, and SU put themselves in a hole early on in both of the games. So if they don't go down an early hole, who knows what happens.
And after the double overtime loss against Notre Dame, they were without Randy Stotts, and he's back.
Yeah, Randy Stotts is back, but that's all the time we've got here on Casual Countdown. We're going to send it over to Tyler Cass for more on the ACC tournament.
You guys heard right. She said Tyler Cass. I know I wasn't here for the start, but I'm here now. That's what matters. Alongside Danny Cuneo, Matt Ryle, it's time to take a look and meet the rest of the teams that Syracuse could possibly face in the ACC tournament. We're going to start right at the top, number 1 in the country, number 1 in the conference, Notre Dame.
Yep, that's right. Notre Dame is number 1 in the country, number 1 in the conference, number 1 in our hearts. They're just the best team in the country, 9-1 this year, 6-0 at home, 4-0 in conference. Look at all those dudes with that lettuce. Matt Cavanaugh, Mikey Wynn, Sergio Perkovic. Great guys. Cavanaugh leading the bunch, 21 goals, 22 assists. Interesting, he's the leading scorer on the team, 43 points, but it's defense where they get it done, 88 goals allowed on the year. That is the second least in the country.
Moving on now to number 2 in the country. Don't know the rankings inside Danny's heart. Whatever, North Carolina.
Yeah, UNC, an offensive juggernaut this season, number 4 in the entire country in scoring, 12-2 on the season, and they're led by their big attack trio, Luke Goldstock, Jimmy Bitter, and the man you don't see on the board, Joey Sankey. They've been playing phenomenal this season, but the man that really makes them run, Chad Tutton, and their senior midfielder coming out. He's a very good offensive midfielder. 31 goals this season, and you just usually don't get that type of production from that spot on the field. Watch out for them because a lot of teams are going to have struggling to contain this deep offense.
And then finally, somehow the last spot in the tournament is occupied by the back-to-back national champions, but it's the ACC we're talking about. It's Duke.
You're right. You can certainly not underestimate this Duke Blue Devil team. They're 4th in the country with 206 goals. Miles Jones, Justin Gutterding combined for over 110 points. They're just very good on offense. And like you said, you can't take two-time defending champions, only lost by 1 to UNC, lost by 1 to Notre Dame. So this team is right in the hunt. They're just as competitive as every other team. Wouldn't be surprised if they won it all.
Well, those are the other 3 squads. We already know Syracuse pretty well. So let's move on now. And the ACC tournament, there's no player of the tournament medal, but we're going to give one out ourselves here. Who do you think really kind of shines in the tournament?
I have to go with Randy Stotts. You saw just how important he was to the Syracuse team in their 2 losses. He didn't play at all against Notre Dame, and he didn't play a lot against North Carolina. They lost both those games, but he's back. He's gotten into the swing of things now. Great game against Hobart, and he's going to step up for this team in the tournament.
I like that pick with Randy Stotts. I'm going to go with Matt Cavanaugh, the best player on the best team in the country. That's Notre Dame. He leads the team with 43 points, like I said, and I think that he steps up. He sets the tone for that Irish team. I think that he's going to lead them through.
All right, guys, we'll be watching right along with you this weekend as the ACC tournament unfolds. Now it's back to your MC for the evening, Varun.
Tyler, thank you so much. Coming up, a double dose of the Breakdown Plus. We bring in some more analysts to take a look at other lacrosse action around the country. And, of course, we pick Syracuse's fate for the rest of the season. Stick around. CC, back soon.
Weekend, usually, is a time to relax and unwind from the pressures of work and school. Unfortunately, the weekend is also a time for many people to abuse drugs and alcohol. Listen to the words some people use when they talk about the good time they had over the weekend. They say, I went to a party Friday night and got plastered. Or, Saturday night, I was really wasted. Maybe they didn't have such a good time after all.
This message furnished by the NCAA.
Talking Points is more than just a campus political show. We tackle big issues and have in-depth conversations.
Talking Points.
Talking Points.
We report the political news that our students not only need to know, but deserve to know.
Talking Points.
We do it at the local news level, and we do it at the national news level. We're here. You need us. All the political news you need, only on Talking Points.
Talking Points.
Talking Points, only on Citrus TV.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to Cuse Countdown, talking ACC tournament and beyond. Looking at the other teams in the ACC tournament besides Syracuse, all very talented squads. Notre Dame is the #1 team in the country. They have not lost an ACC game, and they've won 6 straight. UNC struggling a bit, 3-2 in the last 5, but did beat Syracuse 2 weekends back in Chapel Hill. So the ACC tournament features some of the finest offenses in the country. So in order to properly show you all the talent that will be on display, we've decided to look at plays from all 4 tourney teams. Christian and Mike have SU UNC, Michael Barth and Seth Quam have Duke Notre Dame in a double dose of the breakdown.
Well, thank you very much, Varun. Michael, what do you say we dive into the video vault for one last look at some great offense this year?
Let's do it.
We're going to start with UNC and Chad Triple T Tutton. That's what he'd be if he was wrestling in the WWE. I know we have some big fans of WWE here on the staff. So let's take a look at. It's real quick. It's lightning quick.
I missed it.
You missed it.
I missed it.
That's okay, because we're going to go back and watch it again.
Good thing.
As
Good.
we always
All right.
do. What you're going to see here is a decisive, quick, athletic goal. Look, it's a little blurry, but it's so quick that we just had to stop it because it's going to go right back. Tutton dishes it back, goal. But what you see here is a bunch of Syracuse defensive players still on their heels. UNC gets it done with an aggressive, directed offense that knows how to score.
Talk about a fast-paced offense in North Carolina. We're going to look at Syracuse on the offensive end. 2 very offensively powerful teams. You're going to get some penetration in this Syracuse play, which is key against this North Carolina team to get the North Carolina defense on their back heels. Right here, we're going to see the Syracuse offense spread out. The defense already looking the wrong way, and we're going to pause it once again. Tim Barber, you got Randy Stotts and Dylan Donahue, the two of the best Syracuse offensive players. That takes 2 long poles and 2 of North Carolina's best defensive players. Tim Barber was the National Junior College Offensive Player of the Year. He'd be the best attacker on most other teams in the country. Little stutter step, he gets to the goal. Tim Barber can have a huge game because guys like Dylan Donahue and Randy Stotts are going to take the best North Carolina defenders away from guys like Barber, and Tim Barber can have a big game against this Tar Heels defense.
Well, certainly some very impressive offenses that we're going to be seeing in the ACC tournament. Let's see what Seth Quam and Michael Barth have cooking.
All right, thanks, guys. Seth Quam, Michael Barth here to break down 2 other ACC teams, Duke and Notre Dame. Seth, the first team we're going to take a look at is Duke. Now, against Syracuse, Duke lost 19-7. We're going to show you some good things they did in this game, and it was more on the offensive side of the ball. Here you're going to see Justin Gooderding fire a shot past Warren Hill. A very quick release, great goal from the freshman. We're going to take it back, show you what they did well on this play. Now, it's a man-up opportunity, and they're going to work the ball around, quick passing along the top of the box, and Gooderding's going to find some open space. We're going to pause it right there. That's all he needs. 38 goals on the year. A really good freshman is going to be the pain in the butt for Syracuse going forward. He gets just a little bit of space. He's going to score. And as you see there, gets it past the goalie. Duke, very good offensively. 4 30-goal scorers. Defensively, though, not so great.
Gooderding hardly got the ball before he was firing a shot on the net. That was pretty impressive there. Another team that's impressive offensively, Notre Dame. Those 2 teams are facing off this weekend, so let's take a look at Fighting Irish highlight. Took on Syracuse not too long ago, and Matt Cavanaugh leading the way for the Irish all year. Plays the role of distributor there to Sergio Perkovic. Gets the goal, extends the Notre Dame lead, and let's take it back. So we got 3 Syracuse defenders here, all looking at Cavanaugh, not looking behind them. They were just kind of chasing him all over the field, and then Cavanaugh able to find Perkovic for the goal, puts Notre Dame up 10-6 at that point. Just another showcase offensive play for the Fighting Irish.
2 very good ACC teams on display here. Varun, we're going to send it back to you.
Mike, Seth, thank you so much. Of course, the ACC is the best conference in the country. Last year, 2 ACC teams played for the national title game, but there's some other good lacrosse that we've seen. How about the Ivy League stepping up, Mike?
Ivy League, I would have expected the Big Ten to be a little higher, but the Ivy League is certainly a good showing. You wouldn't expect a conference like that to be near the top.
And then you got the Big East, Patriot League, Big Ten, Christian. Any team in there can make a run, you think?
You never know. That's why you play the game.
Well, for our other picks in other games across the country, we turn it over to Kevin Ryans, Jared Barton. Boys, take it away.
The touchscreen, we're going to make around the nation picks. This time, a little bit of tournament action going on. First, start off with the Ivy League. Now, for me, my Ivy League champion, because this is the theme we're going through, My Ivy League champion, it would be Princeton. They have a share of the Ivy League title this year, and along the way, they defeated number 12 Cornell, and they did it by a lot. They allowed less goals than the opponents do, at 12-10, and they have a young, talented goalie named Tyler Blaisdell. 8 goals allowed this season in 2 starts. I'm going to go Princeton.
All right, I'm going to have to disagree with you there on this one. I'm definitely going to go with Brown, who is ranked 10th by Inside Lacrosse right now. Yes, a very, very solid team, and that's because of one player. You got Dylan Malloy, the sophomore attack. He has 53 goals. That's good enough for number 1 in the nation in goal scoring. He also has 28 assists with 81 total points. That's good enough for 3rd in the nation. With all that offensive firepower, you know that they're going to have a very, very strong push through the tournament.
Always need a top goal scorer, Jared. What do we got next?
Next, we're going to head over to the Big Ten, and in the Big Ten, I'm going to go with Maryland. Maryland now ranked 2nd in the nation. This is another team that has a lot of offensive firepower, one fueled by Matt Rambo, who is currently 3rd in the Big Ten in scoring. He's another offensive presence. This is a team that really does well in the Big Ten. Yeah, they do have a little bit of competition, but look for them to take the Big Ten tournament.
And the reason why they're 12-1, Jared, is because they've won the majority of their faceoffs, more than 50%. And that's the reason why they scored 62 more goals than their opponents. They're a 5-goal difference against their opponents, and that's big because if you're scoring on offense and you're winning faceoffs, you're keeping possession, you're going to win games. And of course, winning games leads to tournament champions. That's why I'm also going with Maryland. Let's move on to the Big East now. Kind of an interesting one. I'm going to go Denver. Denver, obviously not in the East, but they are in the Big East conference-wise, and the reason why they're going to win this tournament to me is because they move the ball around. Their offense is very fluid, more than 100 assists this season, and you think about it, that allows for more people to get involved. They have 6 players with more than 12 goals this season. If everyone gets involved in the offense, and everyone's liking each other, the chemistry is good. That means they're definitely going to keep moving on in the tournament, and they'll probably win the tournament. I'm going to go Denver.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Denver is definitely going to be the one. This is a team that beat Notre Dame, who was number 1 in the country for so long this season. They only have 2 losses against UNC and Ohio State. Those are respectable losses. Look for the offense to carry this team. Yeah, they're not in the East, but they sure will probably win this tournament. Our final conference, we're going to go to the Patriot League, and in this, I'm going to go with the upset alert. I'm going to go with Colgate. They're currently 18th in the nation, so still a very, very solid program. But I'm feeling an upset here. Look for this team to make some noise. They have the identical record of Navy, who is at the top of the Patriot League. Look for them to probably take the title.
I'm getting a little bit of an upset stomach too, Jared. Their defense is very solid. That's why I'm going to go Bucknell. Now think about this. It caused 107 turnovers this season, and that kind of defense can lock down opponents. And if you think about tournament action, if you have a really solid defense and your offense catches on, that can carry a team through a playoffs. They have 3 top 20 victories this season, and that's going to be very important because they know they can beat big teams in big situations. Bucknell was my upset. So we made our picks. We think these teams are going to win their respective tournaments. Varun, let's send it back to you.
Kevin, Jared, thank you so much. Coming up, more countdown people. We hit the courtroom to pass some verdicts on SU lacrosse, and we crown the top 2 analysts from the entire lacrosse season in Countdown Coronation. How can you miss that at CC? Stay with us, folks.
Welcome to Orange Press Pass.
Orange Press Pass is your ticket inside the Syracuse locker room. Hear from the coaches.
We got some open looks from the perimeter
and players.
Well, I saw pressure coming from the backside.
Get in-depth analysis, reports on site, and more.
Let's go on OPP.
Orange Press Pass, live after every Syracuse game.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Cuse Countdown, talking ACC tournament, but for a moment, let's step aside and look at our analyst standings. We have the winner, Danny Cuneo, a stellar 34-10 record. He is the king of Countdown, and coming in second place, Matt Ryle with 33-11 record. He also won basketball picks, so good job by Matt, killing the game. Third and fourth, actually a tie for third. That's Michael Barth and Seth Quam. Let's see if they can settle this in Countdown Courtroom with JP Chunga.
Well, the Countdown coronation is by birthright. This is all about the law. It's the Countdown courtroom. Judge J.P. Chunga presiding, joined by Michael Barth and Seth Quam, the counselors for this courtroom. Now, we should spring for a bailiff next time, but we'll get to that with the producers. Starting off with our first case, a class action lawsuit where Duke, their offense is being sued for being too one-dimensional. We'll start with you, Michael.
Your Honor, verdict not guilty. This team has 4 30-goal scorers: Justin Gooderding, Miles Jones, Jack Bruckner, and Deemer Class. I mean, how can you say that's a one-dimensional offense? 4 guys who can score, and really, any one of them can score. You pick one. Pick one, Seth. I mean, who do you want? Who do you want?
I will tell you who I want. Thanks for asking, Michael. I want Miles Jones, and I'll tell you why. Although several players, score goals for the Duke, Miles Jones is facilitating all those goals. He leads the team with 30 assists. Second on the team, only 16 assists. Duke is lost without him offensively. He creates all of the goals. All those other guys are just pawns in his scheme. He gets the ball to them in easy positions to score. Miles Jones is their only player, completely one-dimensional.
And the Syracuse defense definitely shut Miles Jones down en route to a big win. I have to side with Seth on that.
And we saw in that game, Duke only scored 7 goals.
Exactly. Now, Seth, you're leading off this one because this is a workers' comp, something that I get involved with all the time, my breach of contract. This time, UVA on the end of that, and they are being sued by the ACC for breach of contract.
Your Honor, JP, this is a classic example of a big, greedy corporation like the ACC going after the little guy, my client, the University of Virginia. The ACC, they don't need any more teams to be successful. Already, all 5 teams in the ACC are top 10 nationally ranked teams, and now they want more. Furthermore, when UVA loses 4 ACC games, that just allows the other ACC teams to boost their record. I mean, we can't have all of the ACC teams be undefeated against each other. Mathematically, it just doesn't work, Michael.
Seth, if your client, the so-called little guy, could just win a couple ACC games, this wouldn't be a problem. I don't care if they're going to end up ranked in the top 10 based off their strength of schedule. Virginia is 0-4 in the ACC, out of conference, only good win against Johns Hopkins. What has this team done for the conference? So I got to go with a breach of contract here. UVA, not a good showing this year.
I completely agree. You can't have a mom and pop shop in the Chevrolet department. Going on, we have the UNC call at the end of the game against Notre Dame. That was malpractice by the referees, I've got to say. You can already tell where I'm going, but Michael, please.
Your Honor, objection.
Hey, sustain.
I'm going to agree with you, JP. I mean, 2-minute non-releasable penalty for that hit? Are you kidding me?
It's egregious.
I'm not kidding. Do I look like I'm kidding, Michael?
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you look at the hit, he barely made head contact. I can understand calling a penalty there, but realistically, 2 minutes unreleased for that is just incredible. I mean, and just gave Notre Dame the game. Feel bad for UNC. They did everything to win the game. Refs handed it over to Notre Dame.
Michael, I understand your perspective, and a lot of times that's a common thing to think when you're in the heat of the game and you just want your team to win. But looking past the competition for a moment, these players are student athletes. They are college students with their entire lives ahead of them. We need to think about safety. We need to think about the pattern of concussions in all over sports, in college and professional. This is a lifetime thing.
Well, we'll look to safety another time. Right now, we've got identity theft right now inside the Citrus TV studios, and it is Michael Barth against Randy Stotts for that theft. What do you say, Seth?
JP, I would like to submit a piece of evidence into the official record.
Can't wait to see
here
this.
at the Countdown courtroom.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. We've got Randy Stotts on the left and Randy Stotts on the right. Oh, excuse me. That's Barth on the left, Barth on the... It's a picture of either two pictures of Barth or I'm not really sure.
Michael, that's very condemning.
Not guilty. I can't believe this comparison. The producers cooked it up,
Did you see
a
that
month
image?
ago. I just don't see it. I really don't.
I'm starting to think that there may have been a twin separated at birth kind of thing going on here. Have you looked up your genealogy?
I haven't, Seth, but I'm not going to because it has nothing to do with
I
Randy
think we
Stotts.
need to get a mandatory genealogy test for Barth, or shall I say Stotts? Do we even know who he is at this point?
I have no clue. Next time, we will go inside the Jerry Springer Countdown studios and determine that DNA testing to come. Right now, we've got Maroon to finish it up.
Yeah, Barth, I don't think you stand a chance when we hit the lab for DNA testing. Last legs, my friends, coming up. We take a look into the crystal ball, find out what Christian and Mike thinks in store for the rest of the Syracuse season. Stay with us. Cuse Countdown, back in a flash.
Well, you're looking to get into a Twitter feud, maybe find some cool TBTs on Insta, maybe check out Facebook. We got it all for you, Citrus TV Sports. We'll be keeping it going all summer long. Come check us out. That's about it.
Trying to take my job here, Christian Pedersen. Michael Tricarico as well. I'm Varun Raghupathy. Wrapping things up, Syracuse, UNC, Notre Dame, Duke. A lot of great matchups in the ACC tournament. Let's jump right into crystal ball. I'm going to say a statement. You see if it happens. You say it does. You say it doesn't. First one. Who leads the team in points in the ACC tournament? Syracuse, that is.
Dylan Donahue is going to be leading. Absolutely going to destroy it.
Very good answer, but I'm going to have to go with Randy Stotts back from injury, 4 goals, 2 assists against Hobart. He's going to continue that momentum in. Very healthy Randy Stotts will lead the team in points.
Oh, Kevin Rice pick. Interesting. All right, who wins the ACC tournament then?
This is kind of amazing. We conferred about this a little bit before the show.
You guys are
peering into the same crystal ball.
We apparently are peering into the same crystal ball. We have bridged the gap. We're both going with Syracuse.
Syracuse is going to win the ACC tournament. And you know what? That has to go. That means a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament,
They're
right?
going to win the title, too.
Well, Syracuse has not won one since 2009, came in second in last year's ACC tournament. We will see if they can pull it out in both cases.
It's Gary Gates' booming voice that's going to lead them.
Booming voice. That's one way of putting it. Well, folks, that unfortunately is our last Cuse Countdown show of the year, but we couldn't have done it without
we're gonna hug it together
amazing on-air talent production team. So many thank yous. EP, Lauren Walsh, associate producers Marcus White, Luke Casino, the web producer Paul Sarconi. I feel like it's an SNL thing. We got to thank so many people, and of course, all of our sweet talent. But these two guys right here, Christian Pedersen, Michael Tricarico. Thank you so much for the ride. Again, Syracuse.
Stay classy, Syracuse.
First title since 2009. We'll see if they can do it. At Citrus TV Sports on Twitter, YouTube. You know the deal by now. All right, folks. Enjoy the rest of the SU lacrosse season.